Behaviour. And can you hear me?
Yeah.
Louder? Louder? Okay, my name is Behaviour. I am working for this company called Med Solutions Sleep Center. I am the Vice President Marketing. So, if you want to know what is Sleep Med Solutions, it is about, we are a diagnostic center for correcting sleep disorders. It's an American company, so we do a diagnostic. We get the patients to our center where we monitor their sleep, do all their EKG, EEG, everything, and then the report goes to the US and the doctor comes back with the diagnosis.
So, you work only in the sleep center or do you work somewhere else?
I also teach in Princeton Review. I'm a faculty for the Princeton Review, which is a test preparation company on the West in the US. I am a faculty for the verbal section for SAT, GRE and GMAT.
Okay, so how often do you, is it a home-based job or do you go somewhere and teach?
I go somewhere and teach. I go to the center, which is the Princeton Review Center, and I go teach there.
So how many times a week do you?
It depends because I am doing this part-time, so it depends on the number of batches, but I am slowly cutting down on this job because this Med Solutions takes up a lot of my time. So I at the moment teach on Saturdays. I take 3 classes, 2 GMAT classes and 1 GRE class.
Okay, so in a place like Guwahati where it can get really hot at times, so I mean, would you consider your job as very, straining and hectic? So
not really, because I drive and of course all cars have ACs, but I usually wear perfume, or I always wear a deo and a perfume before going. But yes, once you're out of the car, it is getting very muggy and sticky. And
so I mean, throughout a normal day, like how do you keep fresh? Like,
of course, a bath every day.
Yeah, obviously.
Twice a day, and
but I mean, given the weather nowadays, even baths don't really help because one minute you have a bath, next minute you are again.
because of this kind of weather, yes, it's very humid. I use a deo. I use deodorants and
So you use a deo, sorry.
yes.
So deos, perfumes, what's your preference?
Yeah, so on a regular basis I use deos and perfumes. See, if I'm not going out somewhere, I'm always, after a bath I have to put on a deo. And perfumes usually when I go out, for social functions and things, and when I go out actually, parties and things, and I use both deo and perfume.
Okay, but if you were
But
to
deo
say,
is a must. I mean, even if I don't wear a perfume, but I have to wear a deo.
okay, so you're hardcore for deo. What's your preference? Like, do you prefer deos better?
So deo is more of a regular use. Perfumes are, even if I sometimes forget to wear a perfume, I'm happy because I have a deo on me, right? I have used my deo.
So you use deos.
So you lift your arm, you're not whiffing of sweat and things like that, right?
So basically, on a regular normal day, you use deos obviously.
Always.
So perfumes are only for more
formal occasions. Sometimes, as I said, if I tend to forget to wear a perfume, I'm still happy because I have a deo and I'm not going to smell.
Okay, so when you talk about deodorants, like what do you like in a deo? Like, what's your ideal deo?
I like, there are some deos which really give me allergies. I itch a lot, so I prefer the roll-on deos.
Okay, yeah.
More than the spray, yeah, because I've heard that the spray can also give you lumps, cancer. So
deos.
because the spray is so, it comes with such force. Apparently, it clogs your the sweat balls. So the sweat accumulates and you can have lumps. Maybe not malignant.
Cancers.
Maybe not malignant, but I have had friends who had to have operations.
After using regular
yeah,
deo?
they've had to. So I now prefer to have roll-ons, the roll-on, which I prefer, it lasts longer than a spray.
But aren't roll-ons sticky compared to deodorants?
No, they're dry. I mean, all these roll-ons are so good, you just don't even feel
And it lasts the whole day?
It lasts the whole day. Even at the end of the day, if you want to smell it, it's still there, the smell, right? It's like that.
Okay. So you basically prefer roll-ons to deos and deos to perfumes?
Yeah.
So
it's not that. It's So at present, I'm using a roll-on, and I really like it, and I'm really liking it.
So is there any specific brand that you're inclined to, or just randomly?
At present, I'm using Axe. I know it's a man's.
Axe roll-on?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. They have roll-ons?
Yeah, they are beautiful roll-ons. Yes.
Okay. So I mean, why Axe? But
I've always gone for masculine duos. Right from my college and university days, I used to prefer going for a man's cologne than a woman's something. Maybe I'm different, but I prefer the smell is more fresh in a man's duo
compared to
a woman's duo.
Fresh or strong?
It's stronger, it's more freshening. I don't know, I just feel they have better flavors or better smell,
better
fragrance.
choices.
Yeah, than a woman's.
So have you always been with Axe, or
I've used Nivea, but I'd used Fa, and it has given me allergies. So I have now moved to Axe, and I'm very happy with Axe.
Okay, so when you talk about Axe, like have you tried its other products, or?
Yeah, I use the Axe Deo too.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I don't want to use a perfume, the regular perfumes that I have, I just spray Axe. I love it.
Okay, so I mean, when you talk about Axe, like, do you have any specific Axe? Flavor? Not flavor. I mean.
I don't know.
Kind
I've seen the Axe chocolate one. I don't know. I've not yet tried.
Okay. Yeah, like, can you recall any ads or anything you've seen of Axe?
Like that. I've seen that ad with the angels, right? They fall.
Yeah.
They come down from heaven and they lose their wings and they become humans rather.
Yeah.
You know, just following that guy. And sometimes I think, why don't they have Axe for women? And it just should be the other way around.
Yeah,
why should men follow
I was going
women?
to come to that.
Right? Yeah.
So you feel Axe should come with a women's
Yeah, why not? Why not? You know, they have like, for instance, Fa. I think there is for men also. Fa soaps and Fa deos. So why not Axe?
But don't you think that there's a lot of feminism inclined towards Axe. I mean, when it comes to the
they're very sexist.
they're very sexist. So, I mean,
That's why I said they should start off with an Axe women.
Yeah, but when that happens, do you think that a lot of women would switch to Axe? Because if they're hardcore feminists and they say Axe is bad, now suddenly if it changes its...
I am not a feminist.
Yeah.
I still like my man to be chivalrous, opening my door and putting my chair and things like that. So I never think on those lines. But I've always wondered what is this chocolate Axe is all about, where just women drop everything and run after this guy. And I don't know. I feel that they should have a woman's line of Axe, and make Axe which is more more feminist in the sense men following women. Why is it always women following men?
So when you have any of the ads play a role towards you
Not
taking
really.
up Axe?
I just moved to Axe because Axe was there, and the duo that I bought was Fa, and it really started giving me allergies. So I just found there was Axe at home, so I started using male.
So there was this Axe lying at home.
There was an Axe.
So did you
somebody
buy
else
it?
was using it. No, I didn't buy it. It was there. Somebody bought it for me, and bought it, and I was there, and I started using it, and I love it.
So
I think I'm going to buy Axe in future too.
So it is just a random decision?
It was just one of those lucky coincidences, where it was available and I started using it and I love it. It stays with you for the whole day.
But have you seen the commercials Axe has made, a couple of them?
Yeah, I've seen that. As I said, that Angels,
Yeah.
and then I think I have seen the
chocolate
one. And I don't know if there's one where this guy is in the forest and he's having a dip in the river, and all these women take away his clothes, and one by one they come and they follow him. And I don't remember whether it's Axe or something else.
So what's your take?
And I find these ads very ridiculous. It's ridiculous. it's.
But why do you think it sells so much? Because Axe is one of the top leaders when you talk about deodorants.
I think men are fools. They so desperately want women to follow them, they will try anything. Right?
But okay fine, you have this one, on one side you have women who are like Axe is bad because they show this. On the same side you have women who still use Axe.
Yeah.
So
as I said, I've always used male deos. Maybe I'm more masculine than feminine.
But in a way, if you purchase Axe, you're in a way supporting the notion that they're trying to give out, right?
I don't know. I don't know. It's perspective, I guess. I think the hardcore feminists will go all up in arms saying that this is a very feminist thing, because they have nothing else to do, I think. But a perfume is a perfume, I think. If you like it, it's all perspective, individual perspective. I remember when I was younger, I used to use Park Avenue, I used to use Blue Stratos, I used to use Old Spice. Lovely smell.
So why not now? Like, why have you switched to Axe?
Then in between I got into the usual feminine deos and like Yardley, which again gave me allergy. Fa, which gave me allergy. Nivea, okay, was
so basically
okay.
all the female deos have been
Giving me allergy. Maybe, as I said, maybe I'm more masculine than feminine.
So that's why you switched. You used to always.
Yeah, because see, I bought a whole lot of Fa deos.
I think it's because you use so much of masculine deos that when you switch to female deos.
Yeah, and somehow I felt Fa or something. It didn't last. I don't know. Some of this Axe, I don't know. Just felt it lasted.
Okay. So I mean, when you talk about Axe, like, why Axe specifically? Like you said, you've used a lot of.
Lucky coincidence, I guess, and I really.
No, but why have you stuck on to it? Like, you've used Park Avenue, you've used Old Spice. Why are you stuck on to Axe, like, as a deodorant?
See, at the moment, I think Park Avenue is an old company, and I think somehow now they've gone out of the competition, right? Still going on. They've gone out of the competition. Company's gone. Right.
Yeah, you're saying.
And I don't know. I've not yet. I used to. Blue Stratos, I don't think is anymore available. Old Spice, yes, once in a while. But Old Spice is not so much of a. It's a cologne, right? It's not a spray or a roll-on.
But had you ever heard of Axe before? Like, when did Axe come into the market?
Quite a few years back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've even gifted men Axe.
So as a because you know, like, Axe is more youth oriented, obviously. So as a teenager, was it around when you were in your teens?
No.
No?
Axe is more
So
recent.
what did you use back then? Like,
I said
in your
Blue
days?
Stratos, then Park Avenue.
So did they advertise the way Axe did then?
Those days commercials weren't so.
Visual.
We didn't have TVs, right?
Okay.
We didn't have TVs. TVs came very late. It's a world of commercials, right? People.
So why did you use those?
See, those days there were no commercials, and we used to go to shops. And I think those days perfumes were very expensive, and as there were not as many ladies deos. Right? There was more deo perfumes, or the spray perfumes.
So all these FMCGs didn't really cater to women.
No, not so much. There were perfumes, but deos as such came much later into the market. And there were the men's colognes or men's spray perfumes were available, and they were much cheaper because these were not so much available.
So how did you come to know of this
So
brand?
I had a friend, my roommate in the university. This was way back in the 90s, and she used to use. And she one day sprayed it on me, and I really liked it. So I went to the market and bought it. And it was affordable, right? It was affordable by us,
Within the student
students.
budget.
Yeah. So it was affordable, and it's nice, very fresh smelling and things like that. So I've always had a inclination for men's
Okay, that was a men's.
deos. Yeah, Blue Stratos is a men's thing. Park Avenue was men's thing. So I always liked it. But then then you started getting a whole lot of other choices, and you moved to.
So did you switch or did you stick to that?
No, I switched. Of course, I went into women's Jovan and Yardley, and there was another thing called.
So you mainly switched because the smell just got better.
Yeah. No, then over the years I have been using on and off female deos, but recently of late I used to use Fa, which never used to bother me. At one time Yardley had bothered me, it used to give me allergy, itching. Then recently I realized that even Fa gives me.
But why the decision to switch to female deos when you always stuck on to men?
Because it was available, right? It suddenly became available. So you want to try different fragrance.
So you
and
wanted
see.
to experiment.
Yeah, of course.
with
You want
these
to try
things.
different fragrance, what it is like and things. And now it's so easily available. If you go to Big Bazaar or Pantaloon is a buy one and get two free, right? So who would want? So you went on with like that. But then I started using. I used to use a lot of Nivea. Then I used Fa. Then I started having this allergy, and I found that. Should I say? I found Robin's Axe, and I started using it. Each once in a while spray it onto me. I used to really smell the whole day. I said, why not use it? So I've started using the roll-on at the moment, and the
So you
spray.
just switched to Axe.
Yeah, a couple of months back.
Okay.
And I can't say that I'm a hardcore Axe thing, but I've watched Axe and I've always gifted
So-
Axe to men.
We always gift it, but you don't know how it smells. Just gift it.
No, I saw it on the tester, you smell, it's a nice smell. And then I just switched on to Axe and I really like it.
How come you never bought it and used to buy it for your friends?
It was always like, okay, it's a male thing, since there's so much of availability of female deos, why go for it? But because of this allergy thing, and because it was available at home with the roll-on and thing, I just switched on to it and I really like it, and it stays with you. Some of the female deos, despite you spraying onto it, at the end of a hot day, you still feel that you're smelling of sweat, right? But this roll-on that I'm using of Axe, it's really good. There's just no odor, body odor,
So you're using the roll-on now, but
at the moment. And once in a while, as a perfume, when I don't want to use my same old perfume, the same smell, I use the Axe spray. Which is really
so
good.
do you carry a deodorant when you go for work from here to there? And obviously you must be having a lot of household work as well on and off.
Yeah.
So, I
Household
mean,
work. Household work is usually I do all my household work before a bath.
okay.
So after all the sweating and grime and everything is done and over with, then I go and have a bath and use my deo, Axe deo or roll on, and I come out feeling fresh.
So would you consider Axe also just another phase where you're experimenting with another deodorant brand?
Not really. I think I'll stick to it.
You'll stick to Axe?
Yes.
Why? What's Axe got that's
I don't know.
making you
There's a very
stick to it?
nice, fresh smelling smell to Axe, and
You never felt that before with any other brand?
all the other deo perfumes that I've been using, deo spray, it doesn't last. The smell doesn't last for long.
You feel Axe does?
And after you take off your clothes, you're still smelling.
Yeah. So you basically like Axe because it's got
It's
a
a
very strong
lasting thing.
smell.
It's a lasting fragrance. It lasts. Other
And
than-
it's freshening.
Yeah, and maybe because it's a roll-on, that's why it's got less alcohol, right? Unlike a spray which evaporates faster, and maybe the smell also goes faster. But this roll-on, it really lasts a long time, and your clothes still, you take off your clothes at the end of the day, and it's still smelling of the Axe thing.
But do you think roll-ons are hygienic compared to? Because I mean, it's got this thin layer of cream or whatever, and then you rub it and it's the same.
If you're a
thing.
hygienic person, at the end of the day when you have a bath, you are going to scrub, right?
Yeah.
Some people don't, they just wash it off. That's the problem where it starts.
Because
Whether it's a spray or a roll-on, you have to scrub your armpits. Because whatever it is, you have to remove that.
Because I've always thought of roll-ons as something that blankets the dirt and just pushes its smell down, so that even if there is dirt, it's just going to smell.
I think roll-on is a layer of this
Yeah.
smelling thing, which at the end of the day you have to scrub it out, because it could have
Because I've
medical
heard of
problem.
people, they say that even after a bath, the roll-on stays, like, because some people may put it up like
Very thick.
vigorously,
Very
and
thick.
so even after having a bath and scrubbing, it still stays. So that's dirty, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So
But I don't know, this Axe roll-on, should I say that this is the US Axe?
yeah.
Huh? This Axe is from the US, the roll-on. Maybe that it's a better quality. But yes, I have had roll-ons like, I think this beautiful smelling roll-on called Relax, no. What's it called? Revlon, no.
Revlon, yeah, Revlon.
Revlon?
Yeah.
No, not Revlon. Was Revlon roll-on?
Yeah, Revlon.
No, there's something else with R. Green. Isn't it a
Green.
lovely
Revlon
roll-on
is
thing? No, this is Revlon is an American thing, but it's a multinational thing. But this was called, I forgot, it's with R. Very nice smell. But the roll-on, yes, as you say, it scrapes off. You
Yeah.
start getting
That
powdery,
oily,
flaky thing
yeah.
coming out. But this that I'm using,
Doesn't.
nothing. It's as if it just gets absorbed in the skin. It's almost like a spray.
Okay. So I mean, is there any specific kind of roll-on, like, I don't know if you call them
See,
flavors?
the most Indian roll-ons are just it's a cylindrical thing,
Yeah.
right? The one that I'm using, the Axe, it's more like a
It's got that curve, curvature.
Yeah, so it's a the bottle is more broad,
Rectangular
flat
shape
type
of curve.
thing, yeah. I don't know if India has roll-ons, Axe roll-on. I'm sure they have.
They do.
Very nice.
So I mean, what? So basically, you feel you switched to Axe only because you were introduced to it through somebody else, and you feel you finally found the brand that's.
Yeah. I don't think I'll go for anything anymore.
you're gonna stick with Axe only.
So both of us can have different.
So you don't really worry about the way Axe projects.
Nah, I'm not interested. As long as the product is, it gives me satisfaction. Who cares how it is being, portrayed? As I said, I'm not a feminist. There are a lot of people who will object to this kind of commercial, but for me, I find it is customer satisfaction, right? If the men are very happy with it, it doesn't matter whether they get women running after them, but if they're happy with the smell, finally it's a product, right? Whether it gives that lasting smell or the freshness that it's supposed to. Who cares how you advertise it, how you try to market it?
Okay.
I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that.
Okay, so going back to what you said that you think that Axe should come with a women's line.
I should.
So yeah, I was.
A lot of other products are coming into women's line, right?
Yeah, but don't you notice one more thing? Like a lot of brands, like you said, and
Far has men's soap.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. Like a lot of these brands, when they try and in marketing, one important thing you have to do is single-minded proposition, where you have one aim and you just stick to that one objective. So from what we can clearly see is Axe is a leader despite these other brands doing so many different things, trying to cater to both men and women. Axe still is the leader because, don't you feel that when a brand comes up with trying to serve men and women, it kind of gets lost in the mix of trying to promote it for both? Because, okay fine, when you think of Axe, the first thing that comes to your mind is what? Solid man's deo, right? When you think of
Axe.
Yeah, when you think about something like, what did you say?
Maybe it could come up with an Axe but a different name.
So do you think it would affect its image? Because Axe is male youth, that's all.
Yeah, it's like a very male dominated thing, right? Yeah, it is. I don't know. Like there are these products which are not on the market or on the counter. You get like Oriflame, right? Oriflame has perfumes for men and female. I don't know how good they are selling because they're not. I don't think they're allowed to advertise because it's like something
they are
like
doing a different kind of a
Avon
marketing.
and things like that.
Like Tupperware does.
Yeah, so it's a more of an online thing, and I don't know, but how is Far doing? I don't know because Far has a line of men's.
See, because okay fine, for a first time consumer like me, when you talk about Far, even if Far is creating really revolutionized male deos, if I have not seen the ads and if you take me somewhere and I see Far, I'll directly presume that they don't even have anything about men. It's all women. So that's what I'm trying to say, because.
But maybe it requires a different kind of marketing, right?
An approach to
how you market that product.
Okay.
Like how Axe, they're doing it so male oriented, right? So you're asking me whether a woman's line of Axe will work or not. Like when you go to a shop, you see Far, you think of woman more than a men's line of product. But it's the way you advertise. I don't know how much Far is always more advertising for women, right? Of course they have soaps, but
I think even Axe has got soaps now.
it's not so popular as the deo, right? And any commercial, like as you were saying, Wild Stone and Fog, and there's something else also there is. I don't know what it is. A lot of these deos, they have commercials, but the model and everything matters, right? And how it is done, it has to be more classy, right? It has to be classy. It has to be
Old Spice is very classy.
Very classy, right? So even if you take a, so it depends on how you market it, and it has to be well done, with good models, and it has to have a good theme, right? So Wild Stone and all, we're saying everybody's going gaga, but it's all the.
No, like what I wanted to ask is, when you say Axe market for women, like they should come with women's line. One main question is, okay fine, in a place like the US, there are a lot of ads which are 10 times more derogatory compared to the ones they actually show, which feminists here are going crazy about. Like there was this one ad which even I never knew existed, but it kind of circled it, like Axe came out with this separate edition of a deodorant where it circled around this one situation where, if you get laid one night and then the next day you wake up. So they made it seem like such a major male concern was that the girl likes to cuddle. So even if you're awake, you can't get out of bed because it's like an iron grip around you. So the whole act, it was never aired in India because people are gone crazy. So the whole ad is about how this one guy is playing tennis and this girl is still cuddling him, how he's watching a movie with his friends, this girl.
She just clings on to him because of the smell.
How he's taking a shit and she's still clinging on to him. So towards the ending, like the voiceover asks him like, do you have a problem? Then he's like, yeah. Like he's like literally in tears, like he needs help. So yeah, and then after that suddenly they come up with a separately designed Axe bottle, and the perk that comes with it is you get a blow up pillow, and this pillow becomes this chest with 2 arms, and you actually have different kinds. Where one is skinny, one is hairy, one is different Latino or something like that. So basically the ad ends with this guy blowing it up, spraying it with Axe and putting it around his girlfriend, so she gets deceived and she turns around thinking it's him, and it ends with him jumping out in the air saying he's finally free. So I mean, that is objectifying them in a totally different level.
Yeah, that means it means to say that women, even if guys don't want a woman.
Yeah. No, in a way it can also be saying that it's only about sex. I mean, you just do it and then the next day it's like, set me free. Like, why are you?
See, all these ads, even this Axe or these angels coming, there is a sexual overtone.
Yeah.
It's attraction, right? Female being attracted to a man because of the nice smell. I mean, even if from young, I mean, when you're dancing, you love a man to be smelling good, right? You get attracted to a smelling good. For you know that my guy may never be having a bath, but he's perfumed. But the first impression is, oh wow, he really smells good, right? You don't want a guy with body odor and smelling of sweat and like a pig, right? So that's the first impression. It's good smelling. So there is attraction. It may not straight away lead to sex, but there is an attraction towards a male when a woman gets a nice smell from a man, right? A man smells nicely.
Yeah.
A woman is attracted.
Yeah, but what I was trying to mainly
that is one a very small point.
Yes,
Otherwise,
I mean,
personality
what I was trying to get at is, see, in a place like the US, this was aired, and I don't think it created that much of a controversy because, I mean, if you look at it that way, the Western culture is more open to all
more
of
sense
this.
of humor.
Yeah, they can laugh it off. But if something like this would happen in India, it would create an entire story.
Because there are a lot of people who have nothing else to do but.
And also because our culture is in a way still very ancient in that sense. So my main thing is, a lot of brands like Wildstone and a lot of these local brands
very,
like
very
Fog.
obvious.
There's this brand called Cobra also. It's got a very vulgar looking ad. It's aired on TV surprisingly. So what my thing is, do you feel that, okay fine, when Axe does something like this in the US, it doesn't have that much of a impact on the psyche of the people there, the men especially, as it does here, because see, we as Indians, whether we like to accept it or not, we like to mimic the West, and we are slowly turning into a half Western room culture. So my main concern here is, do you feel that because these ads are shown and now that even local brands, I mean Indian domestic brands like Wildstone are also doing the same thing, do you feel that it's kind of messing with the men's psyche and is in a way contributing to why women are so, as it is, it's a very platonic?
Platonic what?
No, not platonic. Patriarchal society where the father, the man and the woman. So do you think it's in a way
it's more
enhancing that notion where if man feels ki I'll spray Dio and now this girl has to follow me, if not I'll shade of fire.
See this is see now in India, whatever you say, there's a lot of people are educated, right?
No, but
it may have that effect on the lower strata where there is no education.
That's where the domestic deodorants come in.
Yeah, so where all these Wildstone and Cobra, it's really the lower strata of the society who will, and it'll be cheaper also for them to afford. Maybe such people cannot afford Axe.
No, but I'm saying these brands also are mimicking the same notion that Axe has started off with. That
yeah, but is it working? I mean, does it appeal to us educated people? It does not. I mean, I look at a thing, but it's not appealing.
Yeah, but in India, the educated class is barely 3% to 4% of what the masses are, because even when you look at, I mean, a lot of people say that now the advertising is changing, it's becoming more social media oriented, where YouTube related ads are made specifically for YouTube. But what people are not getting is, in a country like India, where barely 8 to 9% of the country has access to internet, the other massive chunk is only watching TV. Nowadays, a fair majority can afford TVs. So I mean, when these ads are aired on television, and when people like Axe and all are coming up with more innovative ads for YouTube channels and stuff, that's in a way still aiming at us, but these domestic ads are still being consumed only by these lower strata of society. So what I'm mainly asking is, when you're saying if Axe comes up with a women's line of deodorants, how effective do you think it is going to be here?
How effective is the Axe for the male thing at the moment? Is it selling?
It is one of the leaders.
So why not for a woman? It is selling among the middle and upper middle class, right?
Yeah, that's because Axe has set that notion, right?
Yeah.
So now other brands are replicating it, so people know. Like a lot of youth, when you say deodorant, the first name that comes to their mind is Axe.
Or a dent.
It's created that stereotype that, then deos for youth is Axe. So what I'm saying is, as a woman, if Axe were to come up with a women's line, do you think it would lead to a massive cut of male buyers?
I don't think so, because it's they've already established, right, as a male deo, right. I'm just saying that since it is the fragrance, whatever they're using, it's so nice and fresh and lasting, why not do it also for women?
So, I mean, if you were to pitch for Axe and you were to do the women's campaign, what kind of approach do you think they should take?
I feel if they do it for a woman, they should do for women who are career oriented, and the women who are working women, sophisticated, elegant women.
Not just guys falling head over heels.
No. Some women with their head on their shoulders, right? Women, intelligent
who are
women,
empowered.
intelligent women, right?
Who are
Intelligent
empowered.
women, yeah. Not just intelligent women, who can be at par with men, right? They're working in the same environment, maybe the same post, a good post and things like that. So why not?
So you think Axe should come with a line of women which targets the modern woman.
Career-oriented women nowadays, right? Now, everybody is working. I mean, most women are now doing good. They're pilots and they are engineers and they're doctors and things. Why not for such women? Elegant, sophisticated women.
But I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, most girls or women who do purchase Axe, they just buy it because they're like, fine, feminists can keep yelling, but I mean, we like the brand, we like the smell, so we buy it. But do you think there would be a conscious shift of people moving from brands like Fa and Dove and actually moving on to Axe because now it's like the modern women's ad?
It depends how they're going to market it.
Because see, at the end of it, if you look at Axe now, if it comes up with that, it becomes like an umbrella brand, right? It's got a tight grasp on how it projects itself as a male brand. But now if it comes up with a female line to it, it's obviously going to be a small project. Axe now going to blow up half of its chunk of money saying now it's all female.
No, it cannot be.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is, how successful do you think it's going to be?
It could be. As I said, it's how they're going to market it with good commercials. What strata of women are they planning to take, right?
Okay.
Right? It need not be teenagers. It could be slightly middle-aged women, right? Who are confident, who are elegant, who are sophisticated, who are intelligent, who are good at what they do, right? Career women. I feel it will work.
Okay.
I feel it will work. It's just how they're going to brand it, market it. It has to be. They have to come up. What happened? So it has to be marketed properly. It's a very male-oriented thing, right? So they can come up with a small, So it has to be also catchy, like how it has been catchy in that sense, commercial-wise in the main strata. It has to be a catchy line where women will be curious, since it's such a male-oriented product, right? Women will be curious now. What is the female fragrance that they come up with, right? With the same name, Axe.
Yeah.
The curiosity has to be, built with the right kind of branding, marketing, the right kind of commercial, good commercial, right? Not like something like it's a wild stone or
Okay. Well, I mean, finally at the end of it, like, would you recommend Axe to anybody? Like,
I would. If somebody says,
let's say you had hardcore feminist friends and you had to tell them, okay, fine, Axe is not that big a deal, like, why don't you use it? Because it actually smells good, you said.
It smells good.
So, I mean, if you were to do that, how would you like?
Try it. I mean, it's up to you, but try once. See?
So So you would recommend?
I would.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, hi. My name is Colonel Robin Chatterjee. I'm a veteran. Served in the army for about 32 years and now I'm retired.
So what do you do now?
Right now I'm looking after a medical company. We're in the sleep business. It's a far cry from the battlefield.
So you served in the army. How many years did you serve in the army?
I tell you, about 32 years.
32 years.
Yeah, that's not counting my NDA time. That's another 4.
So I mean the army life's obviously very rough, like, as we all know. So I mean, how do you get by? Like, how is it like a day in an army officer's life or an NDA cadet? Because I heard there it's like hell.
No, it's not really. Let me tell you one thing. Initially when you join, it's like hell because you're trying to get you used to get out of the comfort of a civilian, normal, regulated life into a more physical and what do you call it? Handling emergency life, right? And to get you out of the confines of your early morning, late morning and late nights. But once you get used to it, it's very exciting and there's a lot to learn. You get to see the country, you get to see the world, you get to meet some very interesting people.
Okay. So I mean, how do you go by a normal day? Like when you were serving in the army, so how was it? How did a day go by?
Actually, a lot depends. You see, there are two types of. Actually, you have two different tenures in the army. One is your peace tenure, and the other is your field tenure.
Okay.
In the peace tenure, it's life a little more regulated. Morning PT and in the daytime, a lot of pushing of files and training. Once you go to the field area, then the action starts. Then there are no timings, then it's all as per action. There's all your timings are dictated by what the enemy is doing
Circumstances.
and what your job is.
Okay. So I mean, obviously, bringing in questions that I'm going to ask won't really fit perfectly for an army life. But I mean, how did you keep yourself fresh? Like, obviously, I mean, when you're having peacetime, obviously you can follow a routine. But like you said, when you're in the field, there's nothing regulated. So
right. Let me just start on that. Your first introduction to any type of deodorant or a perfume is what you see with your father, right?
Yeah.
So the first one we saw when we were kids was Old Spice.
Okay.
Old man used, and thereafter we just used Old Spice automatically because there really wasn't much on the market then. There was, I think, a blue which had come out, Aqua Blue or something or the other, and there were only 2 or 3 brands, and you just used it just because you got into the habit of it. But you really start thinking about deodorants when you started meeting the girls, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the time when you want to look and sound fresh, and it also depends upon person to person. At least that's what I learned. That was that basically you start smelling it when the bacteria starts attacking your sweat.
Yeah.
That's when the smell starts coming. So some people get it and some people don't get it. But most importantly is when you put it on, you feel fresh, right?
Yeah.
And then I must say another incident was that I didn't really much know how important body odor was until I happened to make a trip to the USA.
Okay.
And that's when I found that people are very, very particular about body odor.
Okay.
And they really plaster themselves with
Deodorants.
deodorants and these armpit, what do you call
Roll-ons
it?
and
Yeah,
stuff like
that
that.
sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay, like going a couple of years before you went into the army, when you were probably in college, I mean, what was your idea of staying fresh and smelling good? Like,
Okay, first of all, I went to college straight from.
I mean, sorry,
School,
not
I
college,
went to
school.
NDA.
Sorry, in school, yeah.
So, my idea of staying fresh, in school we never used any deodorant, nothing. We just washed our faces, that's it. In fact, we didn't have many soaps also. We used Lifebuoy or Lux.
Yeah.
That's it.
So you didn't really use any deodorant?
No deodorant.
So the whole Old Spice phase, when did that happen?
Old Spice phase actually I mean, he just grew up with it because dad used to use it, and yeah, somebody once told me also that every girl looks for her dad in the man that she's going around with,
Yeah.
and so somebody told me that if you use Old Spice, it reminds her of her father. So we all put on Old Spice, but it didn't work.
Okay. So basically, you got into Old Spice because your father used it, and
That's it.
it was passed on.
And it was only available also.
So, but did you ever like try and explore with any other kind of brands?
Yeah,
and
a lot,
deals?
a lot, a lot. Once they came into the market, a lot. And I think that
Could you name a couple of brands?
no, yeah, we went to a lot. Gillette was one. Then Nike and a lot of other. Are you talking about deodorants or are you talking about perfumes?
See, generally, like you said, back in the day when you were in school, you didn't have much choice. So
Yeah, but
when
once
you did start having the choice, which brands did you?
are you talking about deos? Or you talking about perfumes? That's what I'm asking.
Depends.
Perfumes are very expensive. Deos are cheaper.
Depends. What do you like better, perfumes?
I like a deo.
A deo.
A
Right?
deo is more refreshing.
Okay.
Maybe something to do with the fizz. I don't know what it is, but it just smells good. You cover more
Compared to
area.
a perfume, because
You cover more area.
yeah, and compared to a perfume, it's obviously more within the budget for
Yeah, and it's an aerosol, so you feel a little better in aerosol.
the sting.
And
kinda
perfume,
makes
generally you associate women putting it, those sensitive spots and all these things on the wrist and pulse points. Right?
pulse points.
No, guys, everywhere.
So okay, I mean, going to deos, like, were there any specific brands that?
Okay, that's
Which is
what
the
I'm
first-
saying.
which is the first?
I tried Gillette, I've tried Nivea, I've tried Nike, and I don't remember some foreign ones, but I must tell you, one day I happened to see a smell Axe with a friend of mine, and I asked him what he said, this is Axe. So I said, one has seen so many of the ads, and the smell seemed to be quite nice, and I tried it out, and I quite liked it. And ever since then, it has been Axe.
So okay, but which deo brand did you like begin with? Can you recall the first deodorant brand you probably used?
I think Nivea.
Nivea.
Nivea or Gillette, one of the two.
So how did that happen? You saw it somewhere, or some friend asked you?
I just saw it somewhere.
You saw it somewhere and just picked it up. So I mean, you have gone through a lot of other brands, right?
Yeah, you have, yeah. Actually, whatever was available, basically, let's put it this way,
Okay.
and within the budget.
And this was all while you were in the army.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I mean, when you used to go out to fight and stuff, like, did you ever?
No, fight because you don't want to smell different, right? You got to maintain the same smell as whatever there in the jungles or wherever you
Otherwise
are.
you're gonna
You
get
would
caught.
like the enemy to smell you before you came.
Okay. So I mean, so you have gone through a lot of brands. So I mean, you said that somebody introduced you to Axe eventually. Then.
Yeah.
So I mean, and you said you really liked it, so you kind of
Yeah.
stuck on to Axe. So I
Yeah.
mean, why not? Why didn't you end
No,
up sticking to any
because
other
Axe was good. It smelled good.
But
It
what-
lasted longer. It lasted longer, definitely.
compared to the others?
Compared to it lasted longer, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So that's why. So
Nah, the advertising is fantastic.
because of the kind of ads that
Yeah, really,
Axe
they
comes
got
out.
you. They
So
got you.
is there any you can recall like any of your favorite?
All of them were the women come because of Axe into the making.
So,
So I know it doesn't work out.
yeah.
I know it's not going to happen, but it just leaves an impression on you, right?
Okay.
The very fact that I remember it, I don't remember any other ad. I only remember the Axe ad.
The Axe ads. So you can't really recall any other.
I don't recall
brand.
any other ads. Yeah,
So do you think the ads have played a vital role in
Hell of a
you
lot.
shifting to the brand?
hell of a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, which category of Axe do you like? Like which Axe do you prefer using?
I love it.
Whatever comes, you don't have any specific taste or anything.
I got a real problem because my wife keeps backing it.
Like she keeps taking away.
Oh, she loves it.
Okay. So I mean, okay, like getting into Axe now properly, like you've seen the ads, and a lot of women have a lot of problem with the ads because in a way it's derogatory for women because it kind of shows a very unreal portrayal of how they just go head over heels over any guy who puts
I
ads.
think they're just making an issue because they want to make an issue. It's pure entertainment value and everybody knows it. There's nothing wrong with it. And I don't feel there's anything wrong with it. If anybody got a problem with it, then I'm sorry, there's nothing you can do about it. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. And it's absolutely alright. Nobody can.
So
I don't
you
think- I don't
don't feel the ads are like in a
Very,
way-
very sexist?
Yeah, very sexist.
Not at all.
No?
Not at all.
Not at all. It's just pure fun.
It's in good humor. Everybody understands it.
Okay.
You think it's going to happen? That you put on an accent, women are going to jump over you.
Yeah,
It's not
but
going to happen,
I
right?
mean, they react to
It
it.
hasn't happened to me.
They react to it like as though it's something really.
Just because they want to make an issue.
So
And
you-
between you and me, most women love to make an issue. That's all. Otherwise, you forget about them.
So you don't feel like it's sexist?
Not at all.
Okay. There was this one thing like a lot of people who I have spoken to, they brought it up themselves. A lot of people thought that it would be an interesting idea if Axe came up with a line of women's deos. Like since it's so male oriented and it's established as, women going head over heels over a man, what if you shift that paradigm and you make a woman's brand?
Okay,
So
first
how do
thing
you think that would work?
the first thing they'll have to call it XL, right? XL,
Yeah.
right? Then they can do what they want with it. But if they want to keep it as Axe, it's a man's view.
So I mean, but if you let's say if you were given the chance to start a women's line for Axe, what angle do you think you would take?
Oh, very much the opposite. I think it would be great fun.
Yeah.
Exactly the opposite of ads.
Like men falling.
Men
over-
falling all over men.
Do you think that would work?
Yeah, of course. Look, why not?
Because I mean, there's like in the market, if you look at the Axe users, men obviously buy it, and it's mainly youth oriented. It's a very young brand, right? There's a certain chunk of women who don't really give it.
No, it's not a very young guy. I don't agree with you there. Not at all. There are a lot of people now that you'll be surprised. It just goes right up the line. Everybody likes to smell good now.
So you don't think it's only youth based?
Not at all. I think it's absolutely across the board.
But most of the ads are clearly youth targeted.
No ad is going to sell you going to show all men, right?
Yeah.
It has to be young men and young women, right?
So if you're given a choice between Old Spice and Axe now, which one would you take?
The Old Spice is an aftershave. Remember that. It's not a deo. It's an aftershave.
No, but Old Spice also has that. You get it as a cologne, but I've even seen sprays of Old Spice.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
But
it.
if they were to come up with like a proper deo for Old Spice, then
But I think I'll still stick with Axe.
yeah,
Axe is a little more vibrant, right?
vibrant in the sense.
This is more.
Yeah, why
I don't
is
know.
it vibrant?
It seems to have a little more punch in it,
Okay.
right? So it's more attractive.
Do you think the way it's packaged also plays a role? Because
Yeah.
Axe was the first. I mean, since I mean most of the teenagers feel that it's a very youth-based brand. So one problem that we have is every time we used to use old deodorants, we'd misplace the cap. We'd never remember where we've kept it. Like you search the whole universe, but you don't know where it is. So Act came up with this really cool thing where you just twist the thing and it opens up, and you twist it back and
Yeah.
close. So that that whole
Kills the issue.
mystery is gone, or where the cap is disappeared. So
I think the size of the can is wonderful. The entire budget is very good, and I think it's packaged very well and it's sold very well, and that's why it's such a hit. I don't know. Is it a hit?
it is. It's one of the leaders in.
Okay,
When you
I
say
think-
deo, I mean the first thing that comes to your mind is Axe.
Right.
Nowadays.
It's excellent. I like it.
Okay.
There's a new one that's in the market. Something called Fog or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Fog is now
Yeah.
competing with Axe because a lot of deos have this notion of, if you spend 150 bucks on a deo, you're probably getting 70 rupees worth because most of it already sprays all air. But Fog is like, if it's 150 rupees, all of it is going to be liquid going into your, condensed.
And nobody cares
Exactly.
about that. That's all nonsense. I think that's a wrong line. Nobody even bothers about it. Nobody even thinks about it, right?
No, but it's kind of giving Axe a little competition because of that fact.
Ah, I think.
So, but have you ever tried Fog or anything like that?
No, I'm not going to change the max.
Okay. Okay, one more thing is
You know, one thing, I'll tell you one thing. People are very set, at least guys are very set in their perfumes and their everything. You'll find a chap uses Old Spice, uses Old Spice right through. A chap he uses Axe, is going to use Axe right through, right? Women like, experimenting, putting different perfumes, and they have 50 perfumes in their cupboard. Men generally just have one or two, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Like if you come to a perfume, I like a David Off, right? I like David Off.
Okay.
And if I get a chance to use that.
Okay. Okay, one more thing is you don't feel the Axe ads are sexist, obviously, like you said, but if you see in a place like India with our culture not being as open and as modern as you say as Western cultures, most of the ads that they make globally are not aired in India because people would flip if certain things they see in certain Axe ads. But do you think, because a lot of domestic brands like Wildstone and these other brands are also taking the same notion, like you spray it and the girl jumps off one terrace and comes to yours and pulls clothes off, and so do you think, like, if you look at obviously the more educated middle class, I mean, you make a calculative analysis of this is not real, so you just laugh it out and go, oh, it's entertaining. But somebody from a lower strata of society, when he looks at it, do you think it's kind of promoting the notion that, you know, as it is in India, that notion is there where...
Okay, let me just tell you one thing. If you ask me, there are two reasons I use a deo. One is that you want to smell good to other people, and the other is you want to smell good to yourself.
Yeah.
Right? A deo falls into the first category, right? Because the smell of a deo lasts exactly 30 seconds when you put it on.
Yeah.
By the time you leave the front door, it's out. Right? The only person who feels good the whole way is either you or your wife or your mother on the way to the door.
Yeah.
After that, it's out. You don't know and nobody knows about it, right? So you feel good, it gives you a refreshing feeling. And that's all that it is. If you think there's anything more women coming, I don't think there's anybody who thinks that the women are coming because of the perfume.
So you don't think deos really last? That's it.
I don't think so. No.
But you still stick with that?
But still put it on, yeah. Makes you feel good. It's like a ritual, right?
Yeah. You have to feel good first before.
Yeah, you gotta feel good. That's all. Maybe feel good. Maybe gives you a little bit of confidence also. I don't know.
Okay.
But you feel good after you change your clothes and you put on some a deo. You feel good. But I don't think anybody buys that line that a woman is going to jump into your arms. You got that.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I mean, not for you, but for people who are a little less educated and who have little less exposure.
Yeah.
When they see not Axe ads, when they see ads like Wildstone and there are certain brands like Cobra which come with really vulgar ads, when they see it, I mean, they are gonna interpret what they feel out of those ads, because for them it's like, oh, that's happening, so I'll spray, it'll happen to me. But do you think,
I can imagine that, right? Because there are different types of people, right? There are different types of stratas of society as we have.
so do you think it's contributing
Maybe
towards...
the guy down below. See, listen. I'm telling you that. Do you want somebody to use it once, or do you want somebody to be continuous? What do you call it? A lifetime user of Axe, right? So a one-time Charlie would be those guys down below try it, and then it doesn't work because no women are going to come, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he changes the brand after that. But there are guys who are very loyal to their brand and they like it. So just like me, we will use throughout our life. We're not expecting a single woman to jump into your arms.
So you just make a decision because you like this one.
I think that.
Not
the
because
thing about
of what
women
the ad
coming
is
and jumping over lasting one can after they would have realized after one can nothing happens.
Okay. Because finally coming to it, like, would you recommend Axe? Like, if you had to sell, let's say if your entire target audience is completely people who are, if you have to sell it to feminists, a group of feminists, how do you sell it? Like, would you recommend Axe first of all?
Of course.
How do you sell it to them?
See, let me tell you one, because maybe there's a lot of reverse psychology involved also,
Yeah.
right? If they see it, maybe they'll all say something, but once they use it, and once they feel it. I think maybe Axe can improve their sales by having some free dispensers available in all these, what do you call it, malls and all these places. They have boys who have this thing and give people a whiff of it free.
So that these feminists...
Yeah, people can just smell it once, yeah.
But they, I mean, if they start using it, they're in a way promoting what Axe is saying, right? So they may not even use it even if they like the smell because they're going to be hardcore.
I don't think so, no. Ultimately, right, everybody might say whatever they want to. I have yet got to meet a single person who has turned against any brand because the people have said it's feminist.
Okay.
It's never happened, I've never seen it, right? I think that's all nonsense. It all depends upon how it's packaged. And most important, it's priced beautifully, Axe.
Yeah, it's very convenient.
It's very beautifully priced.
Okay. So you basically like Axe because it's affordable.
It fits in everywhere, no?
In every section.
In
it's
everything.
perfect.
Yeah.
Be it
And
the way
economics
it's
is very important.
Yeah. So be it the way it's promoted, be it the price of the thing.
Everything. It's nice. It's a lovely product. Very well done.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure.